Yo, what is going on, everybody? Today we will be doing another Draw With Me video, and to keep tradition, we are once again going to be drawing Miss Juna Unagi. But before we talk about the piece and whatnot, I just want to give a really big thank you to everyone who has checked out the latest video and are new to the channel. I still can't believe it. It's very surreal to me that the latest video is at 10,000 views, and the fact that I think I'm at like 800, almost 800 subs is, God, it's absurd. It still doesn't feel real to me, but I just want to thank new supporters, old supporters. It's crazy to me. And for those of you who left comments saying like, oh, this is a good video, I really enjoyed it, or like, hey, this helped me a lot, it really truly does mean a lot to me, because I make these videos just out of the fun of it, because I like editing. I make this art because I also just want to get better at art, while also making fan art for like my Oshis. I just enjoy doing both of these things, and the fact that people say they enjoy them it just doesn't feel real. So thank you so much. I really can't say enough. And on a side note, I just like to thank the family. And for those of you who do not know, the family is what Juna Unagi's fans are called, and y'all some real ones. The fact that y'all are excited and really do like the pieces I give out of Juna, and the fact that some of y'all have followed me to this YouTube channel is also surreal, because y'all are crazy supportive. I don't know what else to say. Every time I get comments from the family, or just outside of the family as well, just like the supportive comments, it really helps me with it really gives me confidence in my art. So once again, thank you so much. I love you guys. It just means a lot to me, so thank you. And with that out of the way, let's go on to talk about the piece at hand. That being Juna wearing a hoodie that says fruity. To quickly go over the context of this. Context question mark? She's called herself fruity a few times, but the other week, I think maybe 2 weeks ago, or maybe it was even last week, I really can't remember. But she was doing a unarchived karaoke, which, by the way, an amazing stream. But she was a bit tipsy, a bit drunk, and there was just one point where she kept calling herself fruity. And once again, she's called herself that before, I'm pretty sure, but for whatever reason, this time whenever she said it, this particular reference from Pinterest came to mind. And this Pinterest pin is actually one of my really early ones, if I'm not mistaken. Out of like my 300, 400-ish pins, this one is pretty old. I don't know why it came to my mind, but it did, and I was like, oh, what if instead of the hoodie saying gay, it said fruity? And here we are. So yeah, if you see the time lapse, I do struggle in the beginning because, well, at this point in time, the last thing I drew was Juna crushing a watermelon with her thighs. You see, I have, without going too deep into it, I do have these episodes where I kind of just blink, autopilot on everything in life, and then realize like, oh shoot, I haven't drawn in a week. And then I start drawing, and then I realize it sucks because I haven't drawn in a week, and I don't have the confidence or patience to push through. So then I wait a few more days until like 2 weeks hit, and then I realize, oh shoot, again, I haven't drawn. And everything I put down sucks because I haven't been practicing, until one day, like this day, like all the struggles you're seeing right now in the time lapses, I just, I mess up for like a whole hour straight, and I feel bad about everything until, I feel warmed up and I'm like, oh, this doesn't look terrible. I just keep continuing. Yeah, it's a bad habit I need to get out of, because it's one of those stupid things where it's like, oh, it's been a week and a half, I want to draw, but it down sucks because I took the week and a half break what I really want to draw, it doesn't make any sense. So I need to draw more often so I don't get so rusty within a week, 2 weeks time. But besides that, the piece is pretty straightforward. Like most pieces I do, this was supposed to be a sketch until I was like, oh, I kind of like the way it looks. Especially after I started playing with the background, which to be fair is only just, tiles. But seeing the background with the rather, simple looking pose, I was like, oh, this is looking like a real piece. So I started to render out the tiles. And even after rendering a little bit, I was like, oh, this kind of looks plain. And at the time of doing the tiles, I kind of never really rendered tiles before, I'm pretty sure. But I do remember recently I saw one of Sam's videos where he re-renders like one of his older pieces. And in that one, I think he was giving tips about the specific background that he was dealing with, which had like tile flooring or whatever. And then he was giving tips on like, putting cracks in it, making it look natural. And that stuck with me, even though, I never dealt with anything like that until this piece. And I was like, oh, shoot, doing the tips that he did, which was like, adding the white or the highlight right next to the part in the tiles, as well as like using a round brush or flat brush and kind of just like putting stuff down and then erasing it to make it look a little dirty. Then adding the rake brush for texture and highlights. I think it looks pretty solid for my first time. But after having fun dealing with the tiled background, I was like, okay, this piece arguably could use a little more to it. What I do find funny though is in the reference, I pretty much used the same color scheme with the navyish blue top with the light blue grayish toned pants and the white shoes. The only difference I did with the shoes, I think, is I added the gum bottoms. And for those wondering, I modeled it off the white versions of the SB Dunk lows, if I'm not mistaken. But again, I found it very funny how the references photos I didn't have to change because it perfectly fits and complements JUNA'S color scheme. The tail being super yellow and orangish with her hair that is like brown tinted purple slightly with the yellow highlights. Maybe that's not the correct word, but the yellow and brown hair. I think it's just very cohesive looking, and I was very lucky that I didn't have to change the colors of anything. It just looks good color scheme wise, I'm pretty sure. So I don't think there was a bad choice to leave the background blank, but I had this really random idea of, oh, what if I added graffiti? Because I think this first came to mind because the rendering on the wall was like getting kind of crazy, like it was getting really decayed looking in my opinion. And I was like, oh, this, I can imagine like this being a abandoned looking wall, like a super aged looking wall. And if you do, for those of you who do not know, the original design for JUNA has like stickers, I believe, on her tail. But instead of adding the stickers in this piece, she's obviously like in a more casual outfit, I was like, what if these stickers were actually the graffiti, was the graffiti in the background? Oh, now we're talking. And by the way, this is the second time I do this, but you'll see in the time lapse that I go to my older JUNA piece I did back in December of 2022, I think. But I drew her stickers then. And, I'm gonna be completely transparent. I did trace those stickers because, I want the stickers to look like what they originally do. But instead of redrawing the stickers again, I just opened up the old project file, copy and pasted them over to this one, and made them larger and tried to make them look like graffiti since I've never done that before. So maybe they don't look amazing, but I tried my best. And if you're wondering when the other time I used those same drawings, I actually used it in the one finger challenge piece where JUNA'S phone has the eel sticker on the back. And again, that is the same exact eel. Yeah, that's pretty much the idea for the entire piece, I would say. I'm actually not sure if this would be considered lewd, ? I mean, I don't exactly understand the context of the reference, if I'm being completely real here. And I don't know what the expression. It looks like she is kind of like showing off, her showing off her tummy. Again, is it lewd? I don't know. Speaking of lewd though, I did see that one comment talking about in the reference video where I was, doing that little cringe thing I do where the music stops and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm talking about lewds. Hee. Someone was like, hey, you should make that lewd video. And I was like, oh yeah, you've reminded me. I do need to make it. But I don't know how I'm gonna make it. Truth be told, I don't think I draw that many lewds. I do want to, because I'm gonna be real, drawing lewds is fun. And I guess I did make that Yuna lewd post because it was her doing the one finger challenge. There's a version of her clothes on. Yeah. I think I'm desensitized to what I consider lewd, I'll be honest. I'm kind of a degenerate. But hey, aren't we all? I do try to portray that in my videos by adding the degeneracy here and there. I mean, God, I think in my OC video, I referenced like 5 R18 dojins. I like to do that thing where whenever I show an art piece or a screenshot from a manga or a dojin, I like to put the credits in the top left or the bottom left hand or bottom right hand corner. And whenever it's not like a specific artist, it's just like the 6 numbers, you know. If you're a degenerate, you know damn well. But yeah, I'll somehow make the lewds video. It's kind of just gonna be like, hey, this is how I make art. It's kind of gonna be like the OC or the Hutao video, except it'll be me going through what I think about draw lewds. Yes, sure. I mean, I'm not monetized yet, so maybe I'm able to just do whatever I want. And then maybe it gets struck in later. I don't know how the YouTube system works, but I do want to make that video. And speaking of the different kind of videos I make or want to make, I do have these draw with me videos, and I'm surprised people even listen to it because again, it's just me talking over a time lapse of a piece I did, and it's not really giving too much insight. I just usually go over what I'm doing when I'm drawing, how I came up with the idea like I just did, and then I kind of ramble about whatever I want to. But some people have said like, hey, I enjoy these style of videos, or they say something along those, unless I'm delusional and I'm just making all that up. But I do like making these style of videos because they're chill, I don't want to be stuck making like, I really enjoy making those video essay type videos, but I don't want to be just known to do those style of videos. I admire people who are able to just do whatever hell they want on their channel, and that's kind of what I want to do. So the draw me videos, I enjoy them. I hope there are people out there that still enjoy these type of videos. I can definitely see, maybe just want to put it on the background, listen to someone talk about drawing related stuff, because usually I do talk about art related stuff. And with art in the background, I'm sure some of y'all out there like that. But besides the video essay type videos and the draw me videos, I do want to do again whatever I want to. Like I want to make a drawing Juna in 6 different styles or whatever number I decide to choose. I think that's a fun idea. It's sort of like a challenge type deal. Yeah, it sounds fun. How's that gonna go? I don't know, but that does sound fun. Oh, and before I forget, I want to make a persona for myself. Oh, you know how a lot of other content creators do that? Specifically, pretty much every animator on YouTube does that whenever they talk. And they have like maybe 6 different emotions, like maybe one that they're sad, or they're like face palming, or they're happy, or their hands are up because they're explaining something. And I kind of just use that instead of B-roll in specific cases. Because I'm going to be honest, there are times whenever I was editing the last video, and especially the Hutao video, where I'm just like, my god, this B-roll is so repetitive, I'm losing my mind. Even in the reference video, I had like 3 seconds of downtime, and I just used that cursed Juna Vaporeon B-roll because I was running out of it. Now I was like, oh, this is interesting. This is a shocker. Let me just use this for 3 seconds. So I don't have to have, uninteresting, unrelated B-roll. Yeah, I really want to make myself a persona. Take it as a quote-unquote rebrand, because I want to make, like, I'm thinking I've actually create the persona, which I get. Oh, now that I say it out loud, that could be a video in and of itself. Creating my. It feels it is a persona. It feels like almost a VTuber model, but not a VTuber. I want to create that, and then also have the profile picture, probably a chibi version of them, because I think that's cute. Because for those of you who do not know, the chibi, or not chibi, but the profile icon right now is just an older fan art I did of Hoshimachi Suisei, because she is my Oshi. And for the billionth time, I'm sorry if this is annoying, but I do not know how else to express how much all of y'all support mean to me. Next video will be either it'll be I Draw Ludes video, drawing Juna in X different styles, or maybe something completely different. I need to go through my list of video ideas. But I hope you like the piece. There'll be a link to it in the pinned comment, probably. And if you haven't already, please do follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Pixiv. Twitter is my main platform. That is where I'm active the most. To be honest, I don't really check anything else besides YouTube. Twitter, because Twitter's cool for the most part. Anyways, that will be it for me. If you somehow stayed to the very end, I don't know how you did it, but thank you nonetheless. And I will see y'all in the next one. See ya.